Hey guys, hello, 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 and welcome to today's video. First of all, let's try to get this lighting. I don't know, y'all. I'm filming during the day, and I'm in a new spot. This is another section of my room. I just have some of my oil paintings behind me, and a uterus. But I made this table cute for you guys, so you're welcome. Alright, well, in today's video, we are going to be doing another haul. And I have a couple of books to show you guys, as well as some little slipper cute things from Target and Goodwill, and then also JoAnn's fabrics. So let's go ahead and get into this video. So the first thing I got is from Barnes & Noble. And I know I mentioned doing like a book tapping video a while back, and people said they wanted that, and I'm still planning on doing that. I have a fun idea like involving books, so stay tuned. But this one right here is called The Way of the Rose. And it is the radical path of the divine feminine hidden in the rosary. And it's by Clark Strand and Perdita Finn. So this book, I felt very drawn to it. It was in the spirituality section of the store, or kind of like self-growth, like whatever, that kind of stuff. But I just started flipping through it, and there was a couple different things that really intrigued me about this book. So the first thing that I want to share is that it says what happens when a former Zen Buddhist monk and his feminist wife experience an apparition of the Virgin Mary. So this book really had like a very mystical, spiritual, also eerie kind of energy about it, because it's like Mary Magdalene, Virgin Mary, all these different like topics involving the Divine Mother. And there was a part in this book about like a circle, and that like the circle form is very popular and has dated back to hundreds and thousands of years, like gathering in a circle at a table, for example, or sitting in a circle at school, like during PE, like very much like, or if you're in like a support group or something like that, you sit in a circle. So it's almost like this book is calling out all of these very specific things that we don't normally think about, but how like deeply rooted we are in those traditions. And there was another part about it, about the garden, and how the garden means more than just a place to plant things. The garden is also representative of the female anatomy. And the whole concept of allowing something into your garden can cause a lot of issues if you let the wrong people into your garden. But it's not like a derogatory, like weird, like shunning kind of book. It's more like shining a light on a lot of different things. Another thing in this book was like the idea that whenever we are children and we're born, we seek our mother instantly. We seek that touch, that connection, that skin to skin contact, and how necessary it is for our growth and our development. And that as babies, we don't care what color shirt our mom wears. We don't care what any of that like materialistic stuff is. We just want the bare minimum nurturing and bonding with our mother. So very random buy, like it's not normally something I would go for, but after flipping through it, I'm very intrigued, and I'd love to keep y'all updated on this. I was thinking about doing like a little book club type of thing, and also starting a Patreon soon to kind of get more intimate with you guys. So the next book is by Connor Franta, it's so interesting. Like, this is glossy and then this is matte. And it's just a really beautiful book that involves poems. Look how, well, maybe you can't see. Yeah, you can't. But this paper is actually like the textured paper where it has like the little like bits and pieces in it, like confetti paper almost. But it's really cool because you get to see his photos in here. It honestly looks like a film camera. Just a very sweet book. It has different chapters in it. Of course, like chapter 1, a room full of mirrors, and then we have like writing. But then in between the writing, we also have lots and lots of photos. And there's also little poems and things. Seesaw. It's not that I want things to be easy, but do they always have to be this hard? So I just felt very connected to this book. I don't know, I just thought it was really cool and like a really cool collector's piece. I honestly haven't watched Connor's videos. Like whenever he was like really popular, I didn't really watch his content, but since he's kind of like having a comeback, I guess you could say, he's very much spiritually evolved and very much opening up and being more vulnerable on his journey, which I find really relatable. I love vulnerability. I hope you guys can feel that about me, that I just share and like whatever. But I really like getting to know about people's feelings and what they're going through and things like that, and appreciating people's art and supporting people's art. So I was really pumped to pick up this book. It says, I'm thankful for it all, really. The pain and the pleasure, all the quiet joys and the loud despairs, the rosy peaks and the indigo valleys. I've been shaped by every second of every minute, constructed into a chronicle, refined by my own autonomy, born to never occur again, but watch me bleed until the sun sets. So those are my books, and now into the clothing part of it, which is probably what y'all are most excited for maybe. So these are the slippers I was mentioning earlier. I'm wearing a similar pair now from Target, but these were $7. Slipper socks. They're my favorite because obviously the floors are cold, and I like that you can wash these, because whenever you get like a slipper shoe, I feel like you can't really wash that, so whenever they get dirty, it's like, okay, time to throw it away, I guess. But with these, you can wash them whenever they start to get ratch, you know. But look how soft they are. They're this really pretty, my mom called it like a fawn, like a deer kind of color, but look how gorgeous that is. It's so satisfying to look at. I feel like I should have done the clothing part first, because I know a lot of people have probably clicked out of the video by now, like me just rambling about a book. But what you gonna do about it, y'all? Absolute favorite. These were $7, and they have the little like grippers or whatever on the bottom. The ones that I have on right now are white, or like a cream, like this color. Also, these are such a good like stocking stuffer or just like gift. I had a friend a while ago that whenever she would give me a gift, like she gave me things like this because they're affordable, but they're something that you can use every day if you want, and they're just so cute and cozy, and like who wouldn't want these, right? So there's that. Now I got these threads from, this is like not even exciting, but to me it is, to me. So this is a spool of thread for my sewing machine, and I got red, and I love how shiny this one looks. I like whenever the threads this and wider for like a longer term project. But the sewing store that I normally go to wasn't open over the weekend. They're closed like Sunday through Monday, and I didn't want to wait. So I just went to JoAnn's on Monday and picked these guys up. And I'll show you in a second what the project is. I'm actually pretty excited about it. I haven't done a bigger sewing project in a while. Like, obviously I've been making my bucket hats, but I haven't made like a intentional art piece that like meant something, you know what I mean? Like something like that. That was like a project, you know? So, thread. And then now onto the things that I bought for this project. So the first item is this pair of red corduroy pants. They're the most beautiful, like cherry red color, like a true red, but a little bit more on like the blue tone. So I'm planning on making a project about Rocky, my favorite movie, Sylvester Stallone. Baby daddy, just kidding. But like old Sly Stallone is like my favorite, and he is so attractive in Rocky. So I'm gonna make a piece including red boxing gloves. So this is going to be the fabric that I'm using for that. And the red, y'all are gonna think I'm crazy. The red doesn't match exactly. This kind of gives me more like boxing shorts, boxing ring, like red carpet color. And this is a little more bluey, so they don't actually match super well. This one's a little bit more orange, but I think once it's sewn on there, it'll be okay. But I don't want to drive all the way back to get one that matches better, so we're just gonna have to make do with that. So this is gonna be like an additive detail like this, like the boxing gloves will be one of the main features, and I also might do a quote from Rocky, and an example of that would just be like this project that I've done before. I think I've showed you guys this, but like just to have letters on the project, I might do a quote, and I'm thinking about making like a bigger banner, more like a tapestry sized piece. I haven't done that yet. Here's another example of like letters. This one says Space Cowboy. So, and then the background, I have this denim. So all of these things were from Goodwill. This black denim, it's honestly more like a charcoal color, which I personally like because it makes it look a little bit more distressed and worn. So this is just a skirt from Goodwill, but it's from H&M originally, and it honestly feels like even higher quality than H&M. boxing itself is a sport of show. It's like exciting and thrilling, and like people get very much into it, and it's displayed on a stage. You know what I mean? An arena, a lifted like thing with like rings around it. So it's like that gives me very much theatrical, and whenever I think of like a play and theatrics, I think of like the curtains on either side of the stage. So that was kind of another idea that I had with this. This one doesn't really make as good of sounds. So I think I was gonna do a quote about in Rocky whenever it's like life can get you down, life can beat you down, but it's about like how many times you get back up or like something like that. I'll have to look it up again. But I want to find a quote from the movie that I really like and have the big banner with like the boxing gloves on it, and then have like the quote on it, and then have these as patchwork. So hopefully y'all can like see the vision with me. And then the next one is another black piece of fabric. It's just, you really can't tell on camera, but it is just that soft velour velvet that is not shiny and crushed velvet. It is just matte. So to have the contrast next to each other, I think will actually look good, because this is, it's still a texture. It's just more muted. But it's a very rich fabric, like it feels very good quality. And it's also a skirt. So I have tons of fabric. Do you see how it has that like sheen, like a slight sheen to it? I just love fabric. Oh, it has a slit. That's kind of cute. I didn't even notice that. Okay. So again, just for scraps, but part of the background of the project. And then the last thing I got, I was gonna use for the project, but I decided not to because they're too good of quality and they don't fit me, but I'm just gonna give them to my mom. So it is a pair of sweatpants. And you guys know, like, do you have that one pair of sweatpants that are just like extremely soft, extremely good quality? Like it just feels like, yes, like these are my favorite sweatpants. That's how I feel about these, but they don't fit me, which sucks. So they are Adidas, and I love this color. It's like, can you see? It's almost like a blued down gray, blued down gray, blue toned. And then the side, of course, has the typical Adidas 3 stripes, but I like these ones because they have like a nice, it's almost like a boot cut type of sweatpant, and they're just so great. The back has these little rips because of, I guess the person was a little rough on these, but it has not compromised the quality otherwise, and my mom doesn't care. She's like, I'm gonna wear them. I love those. So, and the band, it's just great. How much can a person say about sweatpants? And then the band on the inside, it's that really stretchy, nice material. So I'm just hyped that I found these. But whenever I was first at Goodwill, I was having a hard time finding anything for this project. Like I went in with my mind set on like, yes, Rocky, we're doing this, and I couldn't find anything. The first thing I found was the red, which is awesome, but then I couldn't find any black stuff. This was the first black thing that I was like, oh well, maybe I'll use this fabric because it's like athletic, an athletic brand, and like it just feels like, oh, it's like Rocky's like training gear, you know, like whenever he runs and he's wearing his sweatsuit. Like I thought that was the vibe, but no. And then I found all those other black things towards the end of my trip, just like laying over the hanger or laying over the pole, what do you call it, the rack. And I was like, oh yes, let's do that. And then I kept looking through the skirts and then found other stuff. So, hey, it has a way of working itself out, right? So, a couple updates. I think I already mentioned earlier in the video, but I do want to do a Patreon. I have a specific idea. I just want to sit down and be patient with it and write down like what all I'm going to offer, how often I'm going to upload, and all that different stuff, because I haven't seen anyone do a Patreon in this way. So I feel like it's unique. But I'm excited, so I will update you guys. Stay tuned for that. And it still would be ASMR.